Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicleknight channel. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get Pokemon TCG code cards. Are you looking to complete your card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. And please remember to use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Please enjoy the discount and your purchase directly supports the content I create in this channel. Thank you guys so much for your support and for your supporting PTCGO. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at Orbeetle from the Lost Origin expansion set. And I gotta say, I think this deck is legit guys, and I have the footage to prove it because I took it to the online tournaments and I actually won. So let's take a look. Orbeetle is a stage 2 Pokemon with a low HP of 110. It has 1 retreat cost, no resistance, and is weak to fire. It has a unique ability called Jamming Attachment. When you play this Pokemon to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may attach up to 3 energies from your opponent's discard pile to your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. And yes, this can include special energies. However, you might be thinking, why would I want to help my opponent energize their Pokemon? Well, you're really not, because for 2 reasons. You can actually use this for disruption, perhaps to deprive your opponent from attaching energies to their main attacker, but you can also take the direct approach, which is my strategy for this build, because Orbeetle actually has a very strong attack, which combos nicely with its ability. Its one and only attack is Mysterious Wave. For 2 colorless energy, this attack deals 30 plus base damage, but it also does 50 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So naturally, you will want to use its ability to stack the energies to the Pokemon you want to attack. This attack is so strong that it has the potential to knock out any Pokemon in the game, depending of course on how many energies are on your target. It is worth noting that I'm using this Blipbug as its pre-evolution. It's 10 HP less than the other versions, but this one has a Call for Family attack, which helps you find a basic Pokemon from your deck and place it straight to the bench. This is good for avoiding your opponent from getting a donk, where they can just win by knocking out your Blipbug if it's the only one in the field at the start of the game. So my main strategy for Orbeetle is to force my opponent to discard their energies. To do this, I'm using a full set of Crushing Hammers. You flip a coin and if it's heads, you can discard any one energy card attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon. This will also slow down your opponent's setup by delaying their attack. And then I also have a line of Obstagoon with the Headbutt Tantrum Zigzagoon as its pre-evolution of course, to help deal some damage counters here and there. But this Obstagoon has the Wicked Ruler ability. Once during your turn, you can force your opponent to discard cards from their hand until they only have 4 left. This is great for having them discard energy cards too, since most likely they will preserve consistency cards instead. This also has a really strong attack, Knuckle Impact. For 3 colorless energy, it deals 180 damage, but it can't attack during the next turn. And since we'll be facing off with some strong V Pokemon, I just added 1 copy of Miltank with the Miracle Body ability, which prevents attack damage done to it by Pokemon V. So your opponent may have a hard time getting around this Pokemon, which may help you to stall and poke some chip damage too while you're at it. It has the attack route, which can deal anywhere from 10 to 110 damage, depending on how many Pokemon your opponent has in their bench. For consistency, I'm using Snorlax with the Gourmandize ability, and Pyukumuku, which can help you draw an extra card when it happens to be in your hand. For my draw support cards, I went with 2 copies of Avery, which is also very disruptive. You draw 3 cards, and then you force your opponent to discard their Pokemon in their bench until they only have 3 left. Next is a copy of Marnie, a copy of Bruno, and a copy of Cynthia's Ambition. And Irida I find is the best way to find the components you need to set up your Orbeetle. This can help you get an extra card draw when you get Pyukumuku with it, and it also lets you get 1 item card from your deck to help you set up your Orbeetle, such as Rare Candy or Evolution Incense. As for the item cards worth noting, I have 3 copies of Scoop Up Net, which you can use for Orbeetle just in case you want to reuse its ability. I also have 1 copy of Energy Lotto, which allows you to look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and if you see any energies there, you can get one and put it into your hand. Since we have limited copies of energies in this build, this is great for searching for them. I also have 2 copies of Choice Belt to increase our damage by 30 when attacking a V Pokemon. And for stadiums, I'm using 2 copies of Turffield Stadium so that we can search out the grass type evolution for our Orbeetle. And I also have 1 copy of Path to the Peak Stadium. I added this one to turn off abilities of Pokemon with Rule Box on them. This is especially good to counter Radiant Pokemon, V Pokemon, and those pesky Empoleon Vs that prevents my Snorlax from drawing cards. I only have special energies in this deck. First, I have 2 copies of Capture Energy. When you attach this to a Pokemon, you can search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it straight to your bench. This is great for setup. And then I have a full set of Twin Energies, which counts as 2 colorless energies. This is perfect for fully energizing Orbeetle's attack. And I also added 2 double turbo energies, but it does lower your attack by 20 damage. You may decide to put a few basic grass energies in this build, especially when going against Duraludon VMAX, but that's entirely up to you. In my preliminary builds, I actually paired Orbeetle with Orbeetle VMAX, but I'm finding out that the 3 prize liability is too much, making it more difficult to win games, so I just went with an all-out single prize build, which is actually a lot better than I expected. Overall, I think this build may just have a place in a competitive scene, although I'm not yet confident that this one will win against other single prize builds. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Orbeetle. Alright, so this first online tournament is underway. My opponent chooses to go first, and we're going to start with Pyukumuku in the active spot. Not the basic Pokemon you want to start with, because you really just want it in your hand to use its ability. But that's alright, we can just scoop it up at some point, and we have a few Quick Ball to help us get a few more basic Pokemon from our deck. And my opponent's going to start with Mew in their active to help them get item cards. And we're actually going up against a Zoroark VSTAR build. So Zoroark VSTAR is pretty powerful. Depending on how many Pokemon they have in play with damage counters on them, you can attack for a lot of damage. I think up to 300 damage if all of their Pokemon have damage counters. And it's so easy to set up. All it needs is 1 energy, which is the double turbo energy, to attack. And it combos really well with Gengar, with the ability that puts it from straight from the discard pile onto their bench and adding those 3 damage counters. So that puts a 1 Pokemon at least with a damage counter on it to increase Zoroark VSTAR's attack. Alright, we got an Orbeetle from our top deck, but our first priority is to set up our basic. And I think I'll just discard my Orbeetle for now. Could just recover it with Ordinary Rod. And then Miltank can actually help us stall, because Zoroark will not be able to damage it. But consistency is our priority, so we're going to set up our Snorlax for now. And since we have another Quick Ball, I might as well get Miltank before I start setting up my Orbeetle line. And okay, let me put Path to the Peak in play to thin out my hand. Use Cynthia. We got a hammer. Let's go ahead and try it. Dude, let's go. Let's go. So that's our first successful coin flip with our Crushing Hammer. And that actually goes a long way, because the more double turbo energy my opponent has in the discard pile, the more energies Orbeetle will be able to stack to one of my opponent's Pokemon, or the Pokemon that we're going to target. Okay, they also have Damage Pump to spread out their damage counters. And there's the Zoroark VSTAR. Dude, they have Celine. Oh, and then they recover the double turbo energy. Dude. That's gonna be a problem, because if there's no energies in the discard pile, there will be no energies for Orbeetle to accelerate. Because we need that to increase Orbeetle's damage output. And they also have Gape Jawbog Stadium, which puts damage counters to either player's basic Pokemon they put from their hand to the bench. And I'm kind of worried about my Blipbug, because it only has 40 HP. And it's going to bring it down to 20 if we put it into play. But that's okay, we can just bump it out. We have Turffield Stadium in our hand anyway, so we could just do that before putting our Blipbug into play. Dude, we got another Crushing Hammer. Come on. I'm cool with that, man. I'm cool with that. Let's go ahead and use Irida, and let's get our Scoop Up Net, thin out our deck by getting Manaphy as well. And now we can scoop up our Pyukumuku. We can also use its ability to draw an extra card, and then we're going to put Snorlax in the active. Alright, cool. We got an Avery, so we have a card that we could use to draw extra on our next turn. But I think I'm just going to Gormandize for now. Okay, cool. We got another Hammer. Hopefully we get another Heads, but I think I'm going to reserve that until my opponent puts another double turbo energy in play. Avery will not be as helpful Or it's not going to disrupt my opponent that much because they have Gengar. Even if they discard it, they could just put it straight back during their turn because of its ability. So, I mean, I could start attacking with Miltank. I can knock out their Mew. We have Twin Energy in our hand anyways. We just have to get our Snorlax out of the active. Okay, so they have double turbo energy. We know it's in their hand. Dude, we got a scoop up net. Let me scoop up my Snorlax. And that's gonna guarantee me one prize this turn at least. And the only Pokemon they can attack with is Gengar. Use Avery. Alright, cool, we got a Blipbug. Let me replace their stadium so we can safely put at least our Snorlax and a Blipbug. And I think I'm just going to use Route to get a knockout here. 70 HP, or 70 damage, which is pretty good. And we got another Twin Energy. So my opponent realizes he cannot damage our Miltank. So they're resorting to Gengar, which does 2 damage counter depending on how many Pokemon their opponent has in the bench. So we only have 2. So they're only dealing 4 damage counters with their Gengar. 2 are active. Which is pretty good because its only target is the active. So that means they need to attack at least 3 turns before they can knock out my Miltank. And then slowly but surely we're going to start to build up our Orbeetle line. So 40 damage, not too bad. Let's evolve our Blipbug. And so far they only have 1 double turbo energy in the discard pile. So I need to reserve this Crushing Hammer. But it's not a guarantee, but still, we have it on hand. Let me start energizing my Snorlax. And I'm just going to attack for chip damage. We can knock out their Gengar in our next turn. So the reason why I put the Twin Energy on Snorlax is because they're still going to take 2 turns before they can knock out my Miltank. And even if they knock it out, we could just recover it with our Ordinary Rod. They get another Celine, but they get 2 tails. Awesome. That is actually good for us because we need those energies to stay in the discard pile. So we're not going to evolve our Orbeetle yet because we need that to stack energies against their VSTAR. And let's see what we could do here. I could just attack for now. Yeah, I think I'm just going to attack for now because I really wanted to reserve all of these cards in my hand because once they knock out my Miltank, we can use Bruno to get extra cards. And with this Gengar, we can knock it out with our Snorlax because we're dealing 100 damage with Snorlax with paralysis, but because Gengar only has 130 HP, we can just knock it out. And we have 2 hammers left in the deck. So there's the knockout. We can just recover that with our Ordinary Rod, so that's alright. That's still gonna make their Zoroark VSTAR a run around. We got a Zigzagoon, which is actually pretty good. We could start setting up our Obstagoon line and might as well put that damage counter to their Zoroark VSTAR. And use my Ordinary Rod to recover these 2. And I think I'm going to use Bruno because they haven't put their double turbo energy yet, but we need extra cards. Might as well take advantage. We got Pyukumuku. Let's use this ability. Draw an extra card. We got a Scoop Up Net. We have Rare Candy. So we can evolve our Obstagoon in our next turn. But for now, we're just going to get a knockout against their Gengar. Energy Lotto, which is really good. We have 2 energies in our hand, but we need a Twin Energy or a Double Turbo Energy to attack. So we have the means to evolve into an Orbeetle. Okay, so they're attacking with their Zoroark VSTAR. They knock out my Snorlax, but we need a double turbo energy. Dude, that is insane. Chill. That's alright, man. This matchup is in our favor, guys. So we're just gonna get Orbeetle, evolve this, and then we can stack. They have 3 energies, and that's actually gonna put 6 energies total to their Zoroark VSTAR, and that's enough to knock out despite the 20 less damage because of the double turbo energy. And I'm just gonna grab a quick ball to set up another Orbeetle line. Get rid of that. Set up another Blipbug. And use Pyukumuku to draw an extra card. Alright, another rare candy. Let me use Energy Lotto. Or I could do that later. Because I don't know, they could just Marnie, but I'll just use it. Alright, we got another DTE, which is pretty good. We can power up our Orbeetle, but we need to evolve it first. Maybe we'll get one once we knock out the Zoroark VSTAR. So we're just gonna attack here, Mysterious Wave. And we're dealing 310 damage, guys. There you go. And we got an Evolution Incense, so that guarantees us another Orbeetle. So we have a rare candy, Evolution Incense for another Orbeetle in our next turn. And we even got Turffield Stadium, so either way, we can evolve into another Orbeetle. We have double turbo energy in our hand, so we can power it up. So it depends if they can knock out our Orbeetle in the active spot. We can continue to attack. We have a lineup of attackers here, and because they don't have a backup attacker in the last game, they have to set up another Zoroark line, which they won't be able to attack just yet. They could deal 30 damage, but not quite enough to knock out our Orbeetle. And all we have to do is knock out one more Pokemon. We have Evolution Incense. All we have to do is evolve into an Orbeetle, put the energies to their active Pokemon, and there it is, guys. That's gonna be a win for us. We're just gonna grab Orbeetle with our Evolution Incense, use Rare Candy, and they have a lot of energies, do 2 double turbo energies. We're just gonna stack it to their Mew, and we're just gonna knock it out. Good game, man. Good game. 260 damage for the win. Wow, pretty awesome. Alright, so our second match is underway. We are going to go first, and I do prefer going first with this build because, as always, with any stage 2, you want to set up your basic as soon as possible. Well, we're going to start with a Blipbug and no other basic Pokemon in view. And and if my opponent has any attack that can deal 40 damage, that's going to be game. This is stupid. Volcarona. Dude, Volcarona can attack for 1 fire energy. If they can get this Cryogonal out of the active spot, they can win. Okay, thankfully they don't get it, and they're just gonna spread a bunch of energies. We need our Manaphy in this matchup, and this is one of the reasons why I actually used this Blipbug. And I'm just gonna stall with my boss's order. Hopefully they can't get this Kyogre out of the active spot. And Miltank, Manaphy I think is the best option here, because if they can get their Kyogre out of the active spot and they can attack, all they need to do is knock out our benched Pokemon and we'll never be able to set up. So Manaphy I think is the only one that's going to be immune to damage. And that's the only thing, man. Blipbug is such a weak Pokemon to start. All the other versions only have 50 HP, so this one only has 40, but at least it has Call for Family. You can use Escape Rope. And They don't have any energies. Surging Flames for 20. So we do survive, thankfully. Me boss their Kyogre again to stall another turn. And we're just gonna retreat into Blipbug. And I might just have to sacrifice this Blipbug. And call for family with our Snorlax, I'm thinking. Dude, this is such a nerve-wracking start for us. We could have lost this game. If they had Volcarona in the active and attack our Blipbug, it's weak to fire. We could just knock it out. Crushing Hammer's not gonna help. I'm really scared to use it because the more energies they have in the discard pile, the more damage their Volcarona will deal. But I need to use it, I think, just so their Kyogre will not be able to attack this turn at least. And we're just going to evolve that. And we're just going to Gormandize for now. So at least their Kyogre is trapped. It has 3 retreat costs, which is pretty helpful for us, helping us to stall a little bit. Got another Blipbug, which is really good. And we could easily knock out their Pokemon because their build actually depends on discarding a bunch of energies. Might as well put Turffield Stadium in play. And I could attack with Snorlax too. I could stall with this Paralysis, but I could be wasting my double turbo energy, so I'll just attach it to my Orbeetle line and then just Gormandize. So we got another Twin Energy. Their Kyogre's not going to be able to deal any damage to our bench. They need 4 energy cards to attack the active. So we should still be safe unless they retreat and then they attack with Volcarona. So they use Aqua Storm. Most likely they're just trying to build up their Volcarona's attack. But thanks to Manaphy, we are not going to get hurt. We're just going to use Avery, and that's going to force my opponent to discard at least 2 of their Pokemon in their bench. And that's why I really like Avery, man. It counters a lot or disrupts a lot of cards that depends on a lot of Pokemon on their bench. Let's go ahead and attempt for another hammer here. Dude, yes. I'm gonna get rid of this fire energy. Maybe they don't have fire energies in their hand. And they won't be able to attack with Volcarona. Let me get another Dottler to start setting up this one. And then let me scoop up my Snorlax and we can start attacking. Put this 3 energy to their Kyogre. It doesn't really matter. And we're just gonna get our first knockout against their Kyogre. But let me just set up another Orbeetle line. I mean, Miltank can negate Volcarona V's attack as well, but we get Orbeetle and then get a knockout off of this Kyogre for our first prize. Get Path to the Peak. Alright, so I don't think they use any Pokemon with Rule Box on them with abilities. So Path to the Peak is not going to be as helpful against this matchup. But maybe they don't have Fire Energy. They only have 1 card left in their hand. And if they cannot attack... Dude, I think we got this. We got another Avery. Let's force them to discard 1 Pokemon from their bench. And then... I mean, I could evolve into Orbeetle. Stack a bunch of energies, but it's not... I don't know if it's going to deal enough damage. Got a Twin Energy from that Energy Lotto. Put that to our other Blipbug. So, with 4 energies to their Volcarona V, let's go ahead and just attach these fire energies. 5, 10, 15, 20. Path to the Peak. But double turbo energy is reducing our attack as well, so we're not actually gonna... Dude, 210 damage? How did that... Oh, because of the base damage. Alright, so Orbeetle has a 30 base damage, right? I forgot about that. 30 base damage. times 4, 50 times 4 extra damage for every energy. There's the scoop. Alright, let's move on to our third and last match. Can we win this whole tournament, guys? Let's find out. Let's put Manaphy in the active spot. And we're going to reserve Zigzagoon. We might be able to use its ability to put 1 damage counter to my opponent's Pokemon. And we're going up against a Mew VMAX build. Alright. Let's put a ping damage to their Mew V. And I'm going to use the double turbo energy to energize my Zigzagoon. Because we have all the components we need to evolve into Galarian Obstagoon. And we can attack for 180 damage. All we need is 1 more energy and then get Manaphy out of the active spot. So I'm not sure. I mean, we might be able to get a knockout with using Galarian Obstagoon. That's 3 prizes if we can knock out a Mew VMAX. And then if my opponent uses a lot of double turbo energy, we might be able to stack energies and be able to knock out any Pokemon they put in the active spot. But they can use Meloetta to attack on their first turn going second. But it depends on if they can energize. No, they can't. Alright, so we have Blipbug from our top deck, which is really good. Let's go ahead and see if we can make sure we have... Okay, we have all of the double turbo and twin energies in our deck. None of them are prized. Let's evolve into our Galarian Obstagoon. We can use its ability to force our opponent to discard cards from their hand. Hopefully energies, but I highly doubt it. Because they have their Genesect V to draw extra cards. Dude, they discarded, which they don't really need, to be honest with you. The power tablets. But we can also use Avery to disrupt my opponent's bench. So now they have to discard 2 of their Pokemon. And like I said, that's why I really like Avery. It's a really good disruption card. Let's use Pitch a Pyukumuku. We also have Crushing Hammer. Could discard 1 of their energies. Let's use Energy Lotto. Dude, we didn't get it. Ah, Tails. Okay. Well, that's all we could do this turn. If they boss my Galarian Obstagoon, then that's it. And our setup looks really grim right now. We have Marnie, but we need those rare candies to evolve into an Orbeetle. So this is going really bad. At least we were able to disrupt them a little bit. They're just going to use Max Miracle to knock out my Manaphy, but I'm hoping for an energy here, guys. We can use our Marnie. Hope for an energy. Come on. Give me an energy, please. Yes. Okay, cool. Woo, that was a close one. Let's put Turffield Stadium in play. We're going to get Dottler. Slowly evolve into our Orbeetle. And then we can get 3 prizes here. I don't know if I can... Now, let me just attach that energy. I might need Boss. I feel like using Quick Ball to set up another basic Pokemon on my bench. I mean, we have another Boss in our deck. I think I'm going to sacrifice my Boss for now. Get Snorlax, just in case it's going to help us set up later on. And we're just going to use Knuckle Impact for a knockout. 300 damage. Dude, that Zigzagoon ping in the beginning made a big difference. Bro, that is insane. Because with Oricorio in play again, the damage is reduced. But thankfully, we were able to put in that 1 damage counter against their Mew VMAX, or Mew V in the beginning. And that's why we were able to hit for 300 damage, knocking out their Mew VMAX to get our first 3 prizes. That is insane, guys. That was pretty clutch, man. I gotta say. So here's another Mew VMAX. They're gonna knock out our Galarian Obstagoon. We might be able to set up Obstagoon again. We just need to recover it with our Ordinary Rod. And they can actually hit for bench damage as well using Ice Cube. So they can snipe our Blipbug maybe. But as it is, my opponent doesn't have a lot of energies in the discard pile, so they're gonna get a knockout 190 damage against my Galarian Obstagoon. Thankfully we have Snorlax, so we can draw extra cards. Use Crushing Hammers again. We failed. And then at least we can disrupt their bench. Draw 3 cards, and then they have to discard 2 of their Pokemon thanks to Avery. And then we're just gonna use Capture Energy, set up another Blipbug, and Choice Belt can make a big difference to increase our attack damage. Let me just scoop this up. I'm just thinning out my hand. We cannot attack yet because we don't have enough energy. And I'll just thin out my deck as well. Then I'm just gonna Gormandize, because if they remove my Stadium, although we have another Turffield Stadium in our hand, we could just get another Dollar. But we have Orbeetle. They only have 2 energies in their deck. They're gonna use Escape Rope. Gonna sacrifice our Blipbug for now. Sorry, buddy. But that's okay. All we need is Orbeetle to attack. So if we play this right, we might be able to win. And we have a few more Crushing Hammers in the deck. We just need to get those double turbo energies in the discard pile. And they're gonna boss my Dottler. No. Okay, they're onto us, guys. They are onto us. And that's a pity, because now we lost our Choice Belt. Let's evolve into Dottler. Can use Quick Ball, get rid of Turffield Stadium. We have another Blipbug in our deck, so let's set that up. And then I have Irida. Could draw an extra card with Pyukumuku. We have 1 Crushing Hammer left in our deck. Let's go ahead and use that. Dude, awesome. Get rid of that double turbo energy. Use Pyukumuku, draw an extra card. Evolution Incense, alright, cool. And we need an energy to attack, bro. Could just get Pyukumuku, I guess, for our next turn. And I'm just gonna Gormandize. I need energies. No energies. We got a Quick Ball though. But the problem here is... Oh boy. The problem here is... They need 3 more prizes, and the only way we can draw extra card is with Pyukumuku. I'm so scared that if I brick, I won't be able to draw into the energies that I need. So they knock out my Snorlax. I need like a supporter card to draw extra cards, but as it is... Okay, we have Rare Candy. Let's use Pyukumuku. Come on, give me something. Okay, we got another Snorlax. That's a good thing. Dude, that is a good thing. Let's switch into Snorlax, stall for another turn, and then I'm just gonna use Ordinary Rod, and then I'm gonna recover 2 Pokemon. Could recover these Blipbugs. Obstagoon sounds good too, though. You know, I'm just gonna go for the Orbeetle line. I have a few more rare candies, so I'll just get Blipbug and Snorlax, and then all I need is energy. But my opponent can just target any of my Orbeetle line in the bench, so I really don't want to waste my Choice Belt or my rare candy. So I'll just thin out my hand, and then I'm gonna use Gormandize. I need energies. Come on. Excellent. So now, okay, I think we have a fighting chance here, guys. We need 3 prizes. Can we knock out this Mew VMAX is the question. So we're just gonna put our Dottler in the active spot. put the Choice Belt, that's extra 30 damage. Evolve into Orbeetle. And, oh, do you only have 3 energies though? But that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 300 plus damage plus Choice Belt. Dude, we got this. Let's go. Mysterious Wave. Before ending this video, I want to thank you all so much for showing so much love for this channel. As always, before you go, make sure you are subscribed if you are not already. Make sure and leave a like. It's a simple way to help increase the algorithm to get this video to more viewers like you. And if you'd like to help support my channel even more, please check out the description of this video. You can donate to me directly through PayPal, and you can also become a member of this channel. For as low as 99 cents a month, you may be able to buy me a coffee if you'd like. Or you can also use the new Super Thanks from YouTube if you'd like to donate even further. You can also check out Redbubble, where you can buy apparel and accessories with awesome designs from me. And of course, for supporting my sponsors and partners, PTCGO and yourplaymat.com. Links are in the description below. But you don't have to do any of those if you don't want to. I'm just really happy that you continue to take the time out of your day to watch my videos. Thank you everyone for watching, happy Pokemon gaming, and stay tuned for more videos. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.